I wanted to share my take on something. Some people might not agree with this. This is just my take, how, I'm seeing it, how it correlates. So what I noticed a lot with um, spiritually gifted healers, like women specifically, um, as spiritual women, you have the capacity to um, pour into others. So you could have a big heart, you can be a nurturer, you can be a healer. You're powerfully anointed and gifted. Um, like goddess Isis or Auset, the Egyptian goddess, you guys may resonate with her, or you guys have that vibration where you have the ability to heal the sick and raise people from the dead, spiritually and more metaphorically speaking. So not literal, but you have the ability to heal people that are in need in different ways. Maybe the emotionally sick, the spiritually sick, the mentally sick. You have the ability to at least assist or help, or maybe you have healed people and raise people back to life, raise them up again, or to assist them with that. And with these types of women, I find that they, usually attract and or are attracted to broken people, even further broken lovers, right? Specifically men, broken men. And I can attest to this. So I feel like it's a part of that aspect of you being that healer, um, you know, that you may take on assignments, or you may fall in love with assignments, right? But these broken men, these are people whom you're constantly breathing life into them. You're pivoting them or assisting them with coming into elevation, or inspiring them into that, or encouraging them into elevation and healing and growth. And however though, there's an element of something always missing, right? When it comes to these partners, there's always an element of something that's missing. There's, the energy of avoidance, to show up mutually and pour into the connection at the same effort as you, right? And oftentimes, to show your loyalty to these broken people, you attempt to show your loyalty in so many ways, and show that you love them, or you do things to attempt to keep this person and things like that. And I feel like when you do this, it turns you from being this powerful feminine energy into becoming this masculine energy. And there's nothing wrong with operating in both in a healthy balance, but it's compensating for where the person is lacking. So you might take on most of the responsibilities in the connection. You may initiate most of the communication, let's say the dates, the whatever it is, if this is your mate, your partner, so living situation. It could be, showing the interest and, trying to pry this person to get them to feel safe with you, or to be vulnerable in the connection. You could even find yourself being the provider in so many forms, not just material wise, but being the establisher, being the ground, the stability, right? Protecting and defending and honoring a person that actually lacks the fortitude and the capacity to be your vibrational equal. So like Isis, as Osiris, you guys know the story of Isis and Osiris, how, he was disfigured, dismembered by his brother, and his remnants, or his pieces of his body, were scattered amongst all across the Nile or in Egypt. Isis devotedly and tirelessly searched for the fragments of Osiris's body. She even transformed herself into this large bird in order to uncover the missing parts of him. So keep that in mind. The fact that she was that devoted to him, that she transformed herself, she shape shifted into another creature in order to find these missing parts. So you may, again, you may have done things where you've went the extra mile and changed different parts of yourself. And I feel like not in vain though, but you've done this as a means to help this person. The fragmented pieces can represent the brokenness of a person and helping them to find these different aspects and bring them back into wholeness. She was damn near successful with this, with putting him back into wholeness, but, because it was in her intentions to send him to the underworld, to the other side. So if you look at that on a spiritual level or a, metaphoric, common sense, like, the other world, the other side can represent that shift, that change that a person needs, from a part of themselves that has died into resurrecting into a new person, a new creature, or being at a different level within themselves spiritually. So the only thing that she was not successful with retrieving was his phallus, aka his manhood, right? So it's kind of like this, like spirit broke this down to me when I was doing a reading for someone, that you can help a person. Specifically, let's talk about a man. You can help them. You can encourage them. You can pour into them all of this love and be that, but you cannot replace that part of them that is a man. You can't sacrifice parts of yourself in order, because that's not that's not your energy, that's not your essence, that's not your place, that's not your position, right? That's not your genetic makeup. You know what I mean? So as a woman, you can't tell a man or teach a man how to be a man or how to take on certain aspects of that. If a person wants to show up, they're going to show up. You know what I mean? If a person wants to show up in a relationship, the first thing is, though, they have to be able to show up for themselves. Like, period. There's no other way around that. They have to be able to show up for themselves. So I'm getting like just, you can interpret that whole story of Isis and Osiris. And Osiris did represent a divine masculine. So there's a difference with that, where a person actually wants to resurrect, to raise themselves or come from that place where they used to be, the part of the self that needed to die, right? Set represents the antagonist in the story. Set was the brother that killed Osiris out of jealousy. That can represent the shadow side of self, So those missing pieces of the self, there's only so much that another person can do. And that's just in healing, period, when it comes to self, not just for men, but for women as well, just people in general. When we go through healing, other people might be able to help retrieve those missing pieces and fragments of self, or to help understand your brokenness. But the major job is yours alone, like not someone else outside of you. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in, because I feel like a lot of times this happens, and I've been guilty of this, of kind of pouring into people and just tirelessly putting my energy into situations and things, especially like being drawn to broken people or broken men. As a healer, not every relationship is made equal. You have to be open to your equal. And it's not to say that people, we all have things that we could work on or heal. We all have parts where maybe we're not whole, you know what I mean, within ourselves, that we're seeking to find healing in, right? But it's like I said, it's a difference between a person that is operating in that versus someone that is kind of just allowing someone else to pick up the slack for them, or doesn't even want to, and the other person is just, interceding and putting their hand in something that someone doesn't even want, you know what I mean? So doesn't know how to, doesn't have that, like I said, the fortitude or the capacity to show up in that way. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because I didn't want this to even be 10 minutes, but hey, like, it is what it is. Anyway, much love as always. Peace.